We're doing it live. All right. We're going to do it live. Excuse me while I play yo-yo with my camera here. Hi, everybody. Hey, Dr. Bro. Welcome to the KotoKai Robo-Dojo Workbench Edition, number 69. 69. Let's make this orange. Let's tone it down, because my lord, that's bright. There we go. Now I look like a human being, not a ghost. Hey, everybody. How you doing? Manny's in the chat saying, let's go. Ready? Cracking that whip. Somebody's got to crack the whip. Here we are, back at the bench. Got a cold little bit of refreshment over here. My buddy R2. He's my friend. Hey, Zach's in the chat too. What's up, Zach? How you doing, baby? We're here to work on this evening. I'll be working on some custom elements for this big bad boy over here. Do a little bit of show and tell for that. That's what I've been going on right now. And as with me, as always, I have my good friend, Mr. Paul.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Good evening.
Hey, Paul, how are you doing? What are you working on this fine evening, man?
I'm going to open something. I was looking around at my shelves. I have never built any iteration of the unicorn. So no unicorn, no banshee, and I have this master grade Phoenix.
There it is.
So we're going to go with that. And as I'm pining through, 20 runners of plated gold here, and
have you, so here, let's pull it back and have a little bit of a conversation. Have you had any thoughts about how to organize said shiny?
Yes, that's what I'm trying to do now. And I don't have enough bench space to spread all these things out, because normally I just what everyone does, right? You just stack them in the box. I mean, yeah, unless you have some fancy organizer, right? I don't know. But I feel like I'm gonna strip this and repaint it at some point, but it's pretty low on my priority list. 15 years from now, low. Right. So,
right there with the sumos, huh?
Yeah, right. Well, it's ahead of the sumos.
Oh, it's ahead of the sumos. Wow.
Maybe. I don't know.
The sumos are nice, though. Depends on how good you get at your chrome. You have to get really good at your chrome before you really want to dance with that devil, my friend.
Well, I agree. Well, the only thing with the sumos, they're 144. However, and the sumos have bigger.
Mine are matched no grades.
1/100s. I think I got the one.
They're no grades, aren't they?
I think I had the 1 to 144 double set. I think the single
no grade single gold. Yeah, that's what I.
Yeah, I have the one's chrome, one's gold.
Gotcha. I remember they were the mini ones. Oh, I'm not jealous anymore.
They have but they're bigger pieces of panel, because the unicorn is a bunch of really small.
Yes.
Armor pieces. It's not one giant, shell, if you will. The shield is probably the biggest. Right. It
Rubik's cubes itself together. Yeah.
So, but typically with chrome, on bigger pieces, and this is just chrome anything, forget Gundams, anything chrome, big pieces, you see a lot of distortion. You know what I mean? You're going to see. So I feel like it would almost be easier in some ways to paint the Phoenix over the sumo. And maybe I'm just deluding myself. That's probably what it is. It's not going to be easy at all. So, but I like the Phoenix in that shiny gold. The Hyakushiki looks great in that matted gold, silvery gold. But I really like the Phoenix as a
chrome
shiny. It's jewelry.
Holy cow! Who is in the chat?
Doof!
Our good friend, Mr. Alex. How you doing?
Yeah, buddy. I got Rona beard and Rona haircut. Or lack of Rona. Lack of haircut Rona.
Yeah, it's because I have more time on my hands. Because I have all the time on my hands that I want. But I'm pretty high and tight on the sides,
Yeah, I can't shave. My head's too round, man. If I do that, I'll look like a bowling ball.
Get the wrong impression.
Yeah. But yeah, a little bit of Rona beard. I would say this is probably a lazy beard.
Julio Manny. And O1 Shield, what's up? Hey guys. Welcome to the chat, welcome to the party. Paul tried to get all these bags torn up before.
Yes, I did. I'm sorry for crunching. And now they're even worse because they're the chrome bags, and there's bags in bags.
I did this one. I set up this new background here for Julio because he liked the chipping before, so you can see a little bit more of the chipping distress around the edge. Same image as before, I just cropped it differently. So what have I
love the texture on that piece, like
I tried to give it a to make it look like it was painted.
Right. Well, and like with rust, you see all that rust spots. When you have rust, it usually bubbles up under paint.
Yeah, exactly.
And give it like textured look.
Yeah, well, I take that back. I wanted it to look like it was painted. Yeah, really, you think? Yeah, of course I wanted to look like it was painted. Sorry, that was not the right way to say that. I apologize. I wanted it to look like it was like a painted piece of machinery that had been in use. And that's what I wanted to say. And that's just not how this and that, and it's really short distance, but you'd be surprised what goes down. So, hey, what have I been doing? I've been working on these tanks for, I'm going to steal a shotgun for a sec.
Yeah.
Been working on these tanks for the big guy. So they'll come off of there. But yeah, so I made 4 identical of these guys.
What's the tank itself made out of?
That is made out of a Quip toothbrush replacement packaging.
I was going to say, it looks slightly translucent there, like.
Yeah, it is. This just has a light prime just to make it look, more homogeneous. Essentially, give me an idea of what I'm working with. See where my scratches are. See where my irregularities are. It allows me to see those panel lines versus the add-on parts that I've made, so that I can decide if I fucked up really bad or if I'm okay with it. Ultimately,
paint stick well to that. I know sometimes like certain plastics don't,
No, I sanded the. These guys are coming off. So the plastic is all like. I don't know, right?
Poly something or another.
Super glue works with it, and then like sometimes the cement works pretty decent with some of these detail parts, but I keep like knocking things off. I don't know if it's because I'm not a lot, like not major details, just like tiny little details. Maybe it's the same location because all the other ones seem tight. Anyhow, so I don't really know what the plastic is. So yeah, what I did was I went ahead and I sanded the exterior of the long cylinders prior to doing any markation on them to find out where my scribes were, and then those were all lined up and then done by hand. And then all the additional stuff was done on top of it, just kind of like half eyeballing and like lining up next to things and drawing like things and doing stuff really late on mechanism. Hey, so it turned out okay. So that's these are the lightsabers. That's what they come down to.
Alex said he's leaving us to go to the gym.
I believe it.
Dude's looking ripped, man.
I know. One of these days he'll come back and build models again. We miss you, Alex.
He's not gonna be able to, man. He's just gonna like crush.
Until then, because I know
you're gonna go grab, the model and just.
No, he won't be building those high grades anymore. That's for sure. Not that he really can. Can't. But yeah. I mean, he can't drink anyways. But I'm drinking. Here's one for you, buddy.
All right, I have all these runners out. What the fuck?
So right now I'm working with this mega size joint. This is a hip joint from a mega size Zaku. I had originally intended to try and use this on the Briegel earlier in the year when I was doing all the polycap additions to the Briegel. So I had originally fused this, intending to only use the peg on it, not realizing that I would and eventually want to use the inner joint as well. So I luckily was able to salvage it today, like by using, actually of all things, by using extra thin cement as a solvent.
Okay.
They glued it before, so put a little bit of like extra thin. Use the knife, really gentle, just kind of like trying to work things apart a little more. Not a lot. You're not trying to flood it. Obviously, you don't want to fuse it back together better or more secure than it was. But just worked it across, and then I was able to pull the two parts apart. I broke a peg or two. Not a big deal. There's extra pegs that I didn't break that help align things together, and I realized got to realize I'm going to glue it back together, and it's going to be seated inside another polycap and a thing, blah blah blah. Anyhow, so I was able to get this little guy on the inside there, which is tight, and I glued it back together. I cemented it back together. And then this, what this is going to be for, is this goes to the, oops, the chopper's in the way. Chopper. I got my, see that box of polycaps? I don't think so. All right, that's fine. It's in the way too. All right, so that is going to be for, I got to fix those up someday soon. But it's going to be for the gun here. And the big gun is going, I want the big gun to be able to pivot like up and down and then rotate as well, left and right, at least to some degree. So that's where this, okay, that's better. That's where this guy is going to come into play, because I'm going to be able to utilize it not in the natural hip fashion that it's designed, but I'm going to flip this thing on its axis and then create a peg that this can sit in that allows it to rotate this way and this way, and then still pivot up and down, and then still give the gun pivot this direction. What that's going to allow me to do is not only have the gun go like this and like this, but it's going to allow me to tilt the gun and pivot it up and down, as well as rotate it around. So I'm going to get a lot more of a dynamic modeling aspects to the kit. So if I display it in some space, I'll be able to put the gun over this way, we'll have it across this direction with the hand, maybe with the double beam or something, you know, looking in a different direction, adding more dynamic aspects to the model is really kind of the whole point of doing this kind of modification. That's why I'm doing it.
That was probably my biggest disappointment with that kit, is that gun's just one giant,
it's a big brick
chunk of plastic.
The whole thing, the backpack, everything that I've been doing to this is trying to make this backpack, which is a big ass brick, like something amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I just like, I wish that kit would have had just a few more parts, and maybe like the that big gun, and then the leg and back thrusters, like they're essentially just two big clamshells stuck together with some thrusters shoved in there.
Well, I mean, they are more dynamic and more detailed than the original XS, to be honest with you. So,
sure, yeah.
Using both the old school XS from, what was that, 98 or whatever that was made.
Like 2000, somewhere in there.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, early 2000s, something like that. Using that old kit and then using the new Deep Striker, like the differences between the two thruster components is pretty dramatic. But it's cool. Rock and roll, man. I need to find a different peg. This is a foot peg, and I need something that will work with the hip, and I already used all the hips that I have at my disposal. Let's get creative. Hopefully I have a big pile of stuff to use. It's that sound everybody loves. It sounds like Lego.
Going up, Steven.
Let's see what we got going on here. Hey, what up? We got Pabs. What up, Pabs? Baby, how you doing, Pebby? And Steven Zarecki. What is going on? How are you doing this fine modeling evening? Another fun, fabulous Wednesday. You're at the Workbench. Number 69. OMG.
It's Thursday, but that, you know, hey, every day is Saturday.
It's Saturday. Let's see. I got a lot of these parts. Sorry for the Lego noise, my dudes. Those are parts. Maybe I can use these.
You know, Wednesday, Thursday.
Every day is Saturday. It's my endless nightmare. I'm Bill Murray. Every day is the same, yet every day is different.
What the hell? Why would they do that?
Oh, what's this? Okay, so that's another head.
Why is the pilot gold? It doesn't make any sense.
Listen, look. It's all about design aesthetics, okay? It's all.
Everything's gold.
I love gold. Gold. All right. I don't have any appropriate parts, so I'm gonna have to make this one work. All right. Let's get creative. Then I already was gonna just half-ass
a little better. So not. Okay. Stick. There we go.
That is a scary stack of things. All right. So my basic issue that I've got right now is I'm trying to deal with this mega-sized hip joint, and I'm dealing with this mega-sized ankle. Now they have proper corresponding doodads here. These clip on the inside. Very thumbs up. The thing that makes these so important is that they are very robust polycap, and they have ridges on the inside. The corresponding pegs have a regular nub on the outside. Most of them have 4. Some of them only have 2. Some of them have 5. It just depends on how much weight load the joint was supposed to have, because these are really, really big 1 to 48 size kits. So what I need to do is try and maintain this this post with this point that these little nubs lock into these ridges inside here, and that's what gives it that strong posability. I don't have to worry about where this gun is pointing because it's not ever going to move. That's why I was able to use these on the Briegel too, is because they're so freaking robusto. That was a whole different thing. Go into it in the future. Anyhow, so what I need to do is try to figure out how to shave that down. I'm just going to cut it down. I'll probably pull it apart and look at what it looks like on the inside first before I just go hacking at it all willy-nilly. But yeah, because I still need to, I guess I can, maybe I'll open up the slot on this guy as well. Maybe that's a better route. I still would need to make a turn, so I'll probably have to compromise. I'll do a half and half. That's what I'll do. Okay. I don't have the Tim Super Zoom camera above, but you have to look at Paul's hands and my smiling face and ask me some silly questions in the chat if you feel happy.
Super Zoom.
I do have, is this gonna, maybe I can try and get a Tim thing on my camera here, like right on top of
his overtop, right? He's using like a DSLR.
Yeah, he's using a top down or something along those lines. That's it. Come on, play with me, computer. Look, you see my phone. How lovely is that?
Woo!
You see my shining legs with my shorts on. Ooh. It's a little disorienting. I almost need to go into my camera and flip it 180. Put this over here out of the way. All right. Oh, that's not terrible. So, except the light. Yeah, a little bit better. All right. Bam. Top down, y'all. All right. So, yeah, as you can see, yo no sé, papi. Doesn't want to fit in there. I'm pretty sure it's good after the fact. We'll have to do all this work and it doesn't work. Okay. Won't be the first time, won't be the last time. So I'm just gonna freehand on the outside of this with this. Got these white pencils by from General. Makes this motherfuckers. Stabilo. I've tried to show these off before. Will the camera agree with me today? Yes, it will. Stabilo. These are great. As you can see, they're water soluble. So they work on paper, glass, plastic, metal. You can write on stuff and then just wash it off with water. It's really easy. It works really well for the plastics. I love it a lot. So I'm just going to do this little technique where I hold the pencil lead just off the edge of my finger if I can get it to line up. Yeah, you can kind of see there's a space there. And then if I just use that, I can pull it up tight. I can kind of draw. See if I can make it look cool. I can kind of draw just like that. I can draw a line that's fairly regular on the edge of the piece. It's kind of like using a compass or a square to make a line. But I'm just freehanding right now, trying to get an idea as to what I want this reveal to look like The reveal is the space with which two components or two parts in an assembly work together. So this reveal, the distance between these two, there's a gap. I got to get that thing to fit. So that thing. I think if I cut to the outside of that white line, if I start to remove to there, I should be able to get at least a loose fit and get that peg in there to get the this rotation here. Now, for to get the spin, that's a whole different thing. But hey, that the easy part's done. Let's see what the inside of this thing looks like. I don't remember. I put this together a year ago, so.
You build this thing in Unicorn and then transform it into
Oh gosh.
Destroy, or I don't even know if that's the right word.
Yeah, destroy mode. NTD type destroy mode. Yeah, baby. Look at that. Look at all those things. So much guts inside there. Let me. Alright, so I want this to fit in there, even with that removed on this side. I'm going to need. Oh, shit. I'm going to cut the end off of the peg. That's how it go. Yeah.
I am gonna fingerprint the shit out of this thing, huh? It's gonna be a problem.
Whoa. You're gonna do what now? Hey, what's up? How you doing?
Fingerprint.
Every day is Saturday, Paz. Tell it to your coworker. What day it is, Mr. Pavlino. I'm giving this man all sorts of names that don't exist. All right. I think that's legit. Where's the other ball joint I have? Hang on. I have one handy right here. Another ball joint. It was another ball joint in another dark town. I'm getting some nice weird vertebrates going on here.
Vertebrates?
Yeah, you know. Verticals. Britons. Yar. Pirates. All right. So, yeah, I think I'm just going to have to glue this thing together. Cut the end off. I'm going to have to take down this piston here. Hold it close so y'all can see. I'm going to take this piston down here, even though it's a nice little molded detail, because it will never be seen. It's getting in the effing way. And I'm probably going to end up having to take these parts down here too. Hopefully I could just make this super simple without having to do anything super bizarre. Super is the word of the day. And I may end up having to backfill a little bit. Obviously I'll backfill with more styrene sheeting, but I may need to use an epoxy putty just to make sure that anything is strong. But it's all within the bounds.
It is supporting something quite heavy.
Yeah. Well, sort of. I mean, the gun's not that heavy, honestly. Like, dealing with the Breagle, nothing's heavy. The Breagle way outweighs the Flea, and the Flea weighs like almost 8 pounds. So that's a thing with which to contend, honestly. All right, so while I'm gluing this together, drinking. Look what time. Hey guys, how's it going out there in quarantine land?
Week beer.
What are you drinking tonight? It's local, I assume.
No, actually, I got something. I made a trip to a liquor store.
Oh, cool.
Last week, which is like one of my first grocery stores in 2 months. No, this is Heretic Brewing. It is a chocolate hazelnut porter. Yeah.
That sounds delicious.
Yeah, a little like desserty.
I am once again drinking a little some Lagunitas.
Oh, I like Lagunitas.
Yep, Lagunitas is quite good. I go to the grocery store, not all the time, but we go like once a week or something like that. So.
We've been getting like everything delivered.
See, there you go. You're in a place where that's a thing. I mean, I'm sure it's a thing around here, but it's like...
Yeah, but your grocery stores aren't... I mean, I don't know which one you're going to, but, here we have like one major grocery store. We have Publix, and that's pretty much...
Yeah, you get a Publix.
We have Aldi. I go there sometimes, but...
Right.
Or like you can go to Target or Walmart and get...
Sure, but I don't know how you guys are dealing with stuff. Like everybody out here is, doing their things, distancing socially, masking up, whatnot. At the grocery store, where I'll wear gloves, and all that. Like not like leather gloves or something like that. I wear like nitriles for that. I know for painting or whatever. Well, I'm there, just conscientious, courteous kind of thing. So that's a little bit different here in like Brooklyn proper. And as far as the grocery stores go, like, I mean, there isn't like there are smaller grocery stores, but like, mostly there's just like a handful of like really decent sized good ones. You've got your Associateds, you've got your Food Bazaars, you've got your Food Towns out here, and Key Foods, of course. Key Foods is sure, fine, and all that stuff. Everybody's around. Go to Fine Fair. The place is great. Local hood spot. Got to go with your hood spots, guys, right? And then of course just hitting up the delis in the bodegas, trying to make sure I spread my patronage around.
What's up, Greg? Yeah, my wife has. She signed up for something. I don't know why she did it actually. This was like pre COVID, but she paid like for a year for like groceries to be delivered.
Oh snap!
There was a reason for it. I can't remember what the hell we were doing at the time.
I mean, no, it's cool. Like I know that there's like my neighbors get Fresh Direct and like whatever. I'm sure there's a myriad of companies that do that.
Yeah, they go shopping for you essentially.
Yeah. It's like, nah, man, it's cool. I go to the Chinese deli and buy my leeks for myself. It's cool.
I think, you know what? We might have actually been like sick or something like that. And it was, or my son was sick or something like that. And she was like, you know what? I'm not going to the grocery store right now.
Yeah, but now it totally makes sense, especially now.
Yeah. It's worked out really well for this. So I haven't really been to the grocery store. I think I went to Walmart one time during all this. But last weekend, I was like, you know what? We had a 4-day weekend because Monday was Memorial Day.
Real day.
So I was like, I'm going to the liquor store to get some beer. We've been hitting up like the local place because they do curbside. So you order online and they just bring it out to your car. And the guy comes out, same thing, gloves, mask, the whole nine. Super nice. You can tip and everything on the app.
Oh, nice. That's cool.
Shipped.
Yeah,
that's what we use. Shipped. That's the name of it. Thank you.
We do that. We do that with our local wine shop as well. We did that just recently to get a couple of replacement vessels. We'll call them.
Absolutely, it's awesome. And like especially breweries and stuff, local smaller places as they were closed. Tough to stay open for them. They relied a lot on like the bar part of their business, not all distribution. Like on
the tap house aspect of it.
Right. Yeah. Obviously, Budweiser. You don't go to Budweiser to drink. You just buy it at. You
buy the Budweiser at the gas station. You go to a brewery to drink the best shit around. Right. So find your local brewery when they're open again. Stay socially distanced. Throw your money at them by the handful. Well, maybe not by the handful, but you know what I'm saying.
What you can.
Do what you can.
Listen, we all need a little something to get by right now. So. We need the booze.
So I did my first cut, and I did it off camera, which I should have done on camera. Look at that focal range. Gosh, some days it loves me, some days it hates me. But as you can see, that cut turned out pretty good. So I'll do it again here. Let me switch the cameras over, and I'll show you guys this my jeweler saw that I love so much. I got it off of the Amazons. I don't have one of those things where you can buy the stuff that I buy, but if you ask me, I'll send you a link. I don't get a kick out from it, and it doesn't matter. So here you go. What I have here is it's a simple jeweler's bandsaw. It's a Grobit. This one is, I think it's like $25 or something for this. This is the last jeweler's saw that I'll ever need to buy. Is why I spent $25 on it. It's really good. It's Swiss made. I bought a bunch of blades for like $2. Bought like 300 blades for nothing, and maybe $10. I have no idea. Regardless, they are cheap. And to get the cut legit, all I did was I looked at the edge, right, and just kind of eyeballed where as I bumped the camera with my saw, I eyeballed where. I wonder if I can go around the camera. Oh shit, I can. Awesome. All right, check that out. Okay.
Close. So
yeah, you got that super close, right? So you can see I'm just kind of like eyeballing where the middle is, which is kind of like to the outside of my white line here, right? And the saw blade, as you can see, is super, super, super duper thin. So I'm just going to take that and I'm just going to kind of use my finger. Now this sounds weird, right? I'll use my finger for filing. I'll use my fingernails for all that stuff. So I'll use this and I'll actually kind of pull on it a little bit to kind of guide me. And you can move your finger back or you pull it off the blade. You don't actually have to cut your freaking finger to do this.
In order to make models, you have to sacrifice your fingers, right?
Right. You file using a file, use your nail to kind of guide a file. That way you can get like your straight line or your accuracy on your push. That way you're not losing your line. You might file your nails that look a little bit weird, but who the fuck cares, You're a builder. You're a builder, Harry. All right, anyway, so I'm going to cut this right here. And then I have the way that the blades are, they're one directional. So the ones that I bought anyways are one directional. So I look at them under the, the magnifier and I see where it's a little bit crooked. That's all right. I'm just going to clean this up with a file anyways. All right. So you can see that line on there. Oh, if it wants me again. There you go. That line, pretty straight. It's a little bit crooked, but that's okay. So I got that just started, and you can see how thin that line is. I barely did any work, and it came out super duper clean. I'm just going to go ahead and cut that. Through. All right, so now that I've got it, most of the way through, it's a pretty decent picture. It's a little bit blurry, but you guys can more or less get what's going on there. When I get to the apex of the curve on that, I'm actually just gonna rotate the blade literally just like this while I'm sawing, right? And I curved the cut on the piece, and I made it like a curved. Here we go. Let's see in a sec. Yeah, there you go. I curved the cut from flat. I curved it around an angle, and then the blade is and the flowers are still standing. It's like just this tiny little blade. They're super duper sharp. You just have to take your time, go a little bit slower, and work with the tool. It'll work really, really good. All right, so hopefully now that I have that opened up, this will fit in. Oh yeah, it fits in nice and tight, but I can't turn it yet. Not much, just a little bit. This is some whack ass animation here. Let's get something good. So. Two things that I'm going to have to do to this. I'm going to have to take the end of this nub down because it's bottoming out in the back of the hip joint here. And I'm going to have to take these sides down too because this is kind of getting in the way. So let me switch back over to Facey Cam. And I'll work on some of that. Hi! Sorry, dudes. It's so weird. This is doing a little bit different with tonight's workbench and switching back and forth and kind of like showing a little bit more of the work that I'm doing as opposed to just kind of like, snapping and chatting. Hope you guys enjoy it.
Indeed.
All right. Get some, need to get a glass file. Everybody has these glass files. I don't have any glass files.
Those look cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to try one out. I'm gonna have to look on the internets and get my hands on one.
The interwebs, I'm sure, has many.
Almost assuredly, right? Certainly. Let's see. Oh man, I'm so sorry, Mr. Pistons. Mr. Pistons. So Back to the Future thing. I have to cut these things off, man. I feel bad because they're nice. They look good. You know? I wonder if I can save them. Maybe I can save them and use them on something else. That's it. That is it. That is it, guys. I'm sold. I'm so freaking sold. All right. So what I'm gonna do? This is why I love this. Like, this is why I come to hang out with you guys, talk about this stuff, because I'm just like thinking of things as I'm coming along. All right. So what I want to do is I'm gonna not sacrifice shit. I'm gonna save these pistons. I'm gonna cut along this edge with my jeweler saw because it makes almost no loss in material, and I'm gonna cut. Where's the pointer? I'll cut in. I'll cut back all on this tight edge right here on the edge of this piece that I want to save. There you go. Ooh, air compressor. That's what you get when you're painting all the time. All right, and then I'm gonna like cut across the top here, and then down the other side too. So we'll just save that piston, and I'll try and figure out what the heck I can do. Maybe I can use that somewhere else. That'll be kind of cool. Awesome. I'm stoked. I love being stoked.
What is it that I'm doing here?
So Z. Oh shoot. What's going on here? Oh, this is good. He's like, oh snap, you're a mod. Yeah, I think Julio's like my only mod. Paul's my mod too, I guess. Yeah, Paul and Julio.
Yeah. I think Alex was as well when he was on.
Alex, I think, yeah, Alex is super trustworthy. He can totally be he's a good mod.
If he can mod Zach's stuff, he can mod anyone's.
Oh my goodness, could you imagine?
No.
Right now he's been so busy. That guy is a dedication machine right now, so respect. This is the only curls I've been doing lately.
Yeah, 16 ounces.
All right, so let's cut this thing out and see if we can save us a piston. All right, screw it. We're doing the show camera. You know, show y'all what I'm doing. Show y'all what I'm doing here. Hello. Welcome to the show.
I don't even know what the hell this part does.
Paul, I need to ask you this. Are you reading the instructions?
I'm reading them, but
okay.
This is tiny. This is like HG little tiny parts that are either clear or coated gold. That's not a good
My condolences.
combination of things for me.
Cut down.
Oh, you know what would help, right? Like putting the light on the parts.
All right, I got to the edge. Now, as you guys saw, I literally, to get this part to rotate in there, and as you can see, it's kind of bound a little bit, which is fine. It's still free moving. I got to the end of my horizontal cut here to the underside of the piston, the cam down here in the end of the piston, and so just to get this to turn, I basically just pumped the blade a little bit and then rotate it in my hand against the piece, and it literally just rotated the blade around. You're just making like a tiny little cut, a circular cut in a way, and then now I can take this and draw it straight down along this. Here we go, along this axis right here. So I'm just going to cut this down. Trying to be careful to save as much of the good stuff as I can, because I'm going to try and repurpose this, and everything else can get backfilled because it's barely seen.
Easy with the goods.
All right, saw's free. Flower's still standing, but our part is still stuck on there. Should be able to pop it off pretty easy though, I bet. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that. So now I've got this weird little piston. If I can figure out what the hell it is. This weird little piston component that I saved off of this other thing. There we go. Resurrection. Add that to the bin. There you go. Save parts. Make parts from parts. And then what we've got here, look at that clean cut. So smooth. I barely even need to sand it out, you know? I mean, it's like, obviously I glued the parts together so that they're a little bit stronger. If you hadn't glued the parts together and you started doing that kind of a cut on it, you would probably end up with something that's a little bit like weird. You might get some weird tangents. That's another thing too, I should say, is that I've been using this jeweler saw for several years now. I buy the Grobit, you'll have it forever. So you get better at cutting straight. When I first started cut, things kind of a little off to the side here, a little off to the side there, playing a little bit over, sand back, cut over your line, sand back to the line. If your saw isn't super accurate, if you're not super accurate with your saw, you can always sand or file back to the edge that you want to get to, and then just use the saw to do your grunt work for you. It saves you a lot of heartache in the end, and you just work on your filing skills. But yeah, so this is pretty tight. Really pleased with the way that worked out. Yay! Let's see what else we can get excited about.
Toy.
All right. Doing that there.
Ow.
All right, so that's going to offer plenty of room for rotation all the way around, pretty much. If I roll to that meta or metric. So, all right. Why did I even switch back to my face? I should have just kept it on my hands. It's going to be so creative today. Here we go. Oh yeah, Zach. Let's see, Zach. Oh yeah, Zach. Yeah, Zach's super busy. He's interviewing Moki today. He was interviewing. He interviewed me last week. He's interviewing Moki today. I'll have to check that out after the fact. Obviously, we're busy working right now. So how is that kit, Paul? Is it like what's the dealie, my blammy?
It's the coating's not the easiest thing to see. Like everything's shiny, so just finding like where your actual nub is to clip is actually somewhat complicated. Like, where the hell is the part and where's the nub? Because it's all just shiny.
That is a little.
That makes any sense?
No, it absolutely makes sense to me. I'm a mirror polisher. In the metalworking trade. So that's one of my skills I have. And I totally understand not being able to see what you're looking at. Like the disorientation or the vertigo that comes from working with something like that can be challenging. That's a great way to say that, right? Challenging.
It's small. It's a small, like there's a lot of little parts for such a big kit. That's a little challenging as well.
Right. I'm gonna throw my banner up. As always, as I say, my friends, you should definitely build more models if you can, and if you need stuff, go ahead and take a look at those guys over there at USA Gundam Store because they got a great selection. Adam and everyone is super cool. If you don't already know this, if you know this, I'm sorry that you have to hear me say it again, but it reminds me.
I just had something come in from USA Gundam Store today.
There you go, supply drop, poly supply drop.
Something little.
Let's see it.
Turn X Master Grade.
Throw it up. Oh yeah. Bought from USA Gundam Store.
That's right. I actually we have a South Florida Gunpla Builders. They're on Instagram, so give them a follow if you guys can. I won a gift card from them to USA Gundam Store, obviously. So that's kind of what I picked out for myself. Something that I've been wanting to buy for quite some time, and then every time I remember to buy it, it's not in stock. So
yes, it is a desirable kit. Ooh, all right, I was able to stay free. Ooh, we got tight for a second there, my friends. I was worried that I was going to lose my blade to the beast. All right, so I'm not going to be able to see this. All right, you have to bear with me. All right, here we go. Okay, cool. I was able to cut through. What ended up happening? Oh, wow, look at how smooth that is. Dudes, look at how clean that cut is. That was the blind side of the cut. I didn't see where I was cutting on that one. That was the back side of the cut. This is what I saw over here, was this side. This side's actually kind of ugly a little bit. But as you can see, this is the side I was dragging back. Everything that I was pulling back on the saw when it was making the cut, this is the side that it was drawing out of. That's amazing. Good job, saw. You win the day. Look at that other cool component now that I can use on something else. Right? Super flat on the back already. I mean, this thing is nice. I literally cut the pegs in half. Wow. Go, saw, go. Saw gets an A+ for the day. Everybody else, your grades pending.
E for effort. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, so now I got it fits in there pretty decent. I didn't cut the end of the peg off yet because I haven't finished modifying, but look at this. I have full range of rotation because I cut off those parts. I got this weird dongle over here. Who knows what we're doing with that? I haven't decided yet. I'm not going to cut it off because I might need it. So, but yeah, with this, as you can see, there's a little bit of a catch to each one of those motions. Now, when I cut the end of the peg off inside of here, it's going to shorten the draw on the inside, and it's going to make this the rigidity within that even better. So the catching is going to be more pronounced. That's just part of the manufacturing, the mega size joints. So look at that, it's like a kick-ass like little radar already. Sorry. It's actually pretty cool. I like it. All right, so cool. All right, so I can see already that with this in the horizontal position, I don't get a full 90 degrees here. So I'm going to have to do some adjusting to the inside probably of where this guy's fitting in there. Because, I'm going to have to adjust those down. Where I made those beautiful curved cuts with the jeweler saw, I'm going to have to go back in and file those out. Alas, all that beautiful luck gone to the trash bin. Throw it in the bin. Let's see. How am I going to fill those? What do I think? Just plate? Yeah, we'll just plate those off. We'll styrene sheet them shits.
Shireen shit?
Yeah. Oh, Jay, what's up? Oh, what's up? Handren's up there, too. How you doing, Handren? Welcome.
What's going on, guys?
We got John Lynn, creeping freely.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think fuck this kit. It's got a lot of little parts.
What?
I'm not having fun so far.
You don't like the little goldness?
No, not so much. Not a fan. I don't think unicorn's my thing.
This has been one of my latest friends' sanding stick. I got a pile of these on Amazon? Yeah, Amazon for like $5 or $6. And there's a bunch of them that are super coarse, but occasionally you get like a little gem where like I've worked this side down so where it's super duper smooth right now and this side's got some bite. Oh yeah, it just takes time to get there. And it's a little bit disappointing. Because having to get there, nobody wants to get there. All right.
It's like right when you get it perfect, you get one kid out of it and then it's too dull. Or does it last a little while?
Yeah, well, no, but it's just like working to get to that place. Look at this crazy file, guys. It is a hog and a half. This thing, single tooth, flat cut, just a standard file, but it cuts so aggressively that you can just like shred through material. Gotta be careful. I don't want to sand the peg down. But yeah, just to clean up a face is a beast. It's a beast, I tell ya. Got that from a friend's grandfather, posthumously.
Also not easy to see the numbers on the runner with gold plating.
Yeah, that's what you were saying, the demarcation. So if you're trying to figure out the letter of the runner, so you have the organization, you could always tape off and write it on there so you could actually...
Luckily, they're the punched runners, so it's not too bad on that. But like the numbers aren't punched, so...
Gotcha. Well, yeah, of course.
Like D10? Is that 10?
Paul, you got to get your old man goggles.
For real, bro. I have like 2015 vision too, and I can't see that shit.
2015 vision? Paul, I hate to tell you, it's 2020. Time to step up to the new age, baby. All right, let's see. Let's slap some flat plate on here. So that one for our good friend of the show, friend of the group, Tim Child of Mecca. He loves that ply plate.
Clap, plate.
Ply plate. I don't know why I'm saying it like it's similar to the way Julio would say it, but I am still saying it all the same. Right, so this is gonna have to be changed because it ain't straight. Or it's not square for that matter. Though my cut was clean, it did not end up perpendicular to the axis, the central axis of the peg. So I'm gonna have to go through and tighten this side up with the file because right now it's like like that. So I'll do that real quick. Make it all happy again. All right. Good now. Good enough. Cool.
I did. Oh, these are all backwards. That's good. Very good.
So I'm just going to do, this is how I do a lot of these ones. I'm just going to rough a piece out. I've got just like, as you can see, I got some circles drawn out here. This is before I was punching things, thank God. I stopped doing that. I'm just gonna lay down because I want to cover this whole side. I've got an accurate piece of styrene here. It's wide enough. I'm just gonna lay the piece down on top of it and just like score the sheet with the blade backwards. So not like, not like a cutty side, but not cutty side. And yeah, great way to say that, huh? And what I ended up with, which is not going to show because light hates me now. All light hates me. Is a little bit of a scratch on there that you're not going to be able to see, though you can barely see it. I can barely see it. Trust me. Just like Peter Pan and Tinkerbell. Trust me. Wait, maybe I can get some dirt in it. Yeah, there it is. Got some dirt in it. There you go. Now you still can't see it because the camera hates me. All right, that's good. Anyhow, so I'm just going to cut this the same way with the knife backwards using a steel ruler. Just cut backwards. And as you can see, it like makes a decent little channel, It's pulling up the curly cues that you're going to want for cutting. Now, this isn't like a superbly fine, refined cut. I'm just trying to cut this shit to get it off. Giggity. Oh, so you're telling me the hammer pulled you off? Sounds like you had a very intimate relationship with your hammer. And there you go. It's wide enough for what I need it to. I can glue it on there and then refine it after the fact. Pretty savvy. Nothing like a little giggle. All right. Nice. Turn this up a couple clicks.
Okay.
For this application, I'll be using Tamiya Orange Cement. Because
next for Ka is a Wing Zero Custom. Is that? Oh shit! Is today the 20? I know it was at the 29th, but I don't know what time zone that is. I'm assuming a Japanese time zone.
Yes,
Tokyo time zone.
You are very correct.
Have not seen any news on that.
Yeah, I knew that. Yeah, I didn't know, but I had a good feeling. No, that's how I knew. I had a feeling that was the way things were going to swing. I had no news, but I had a feeling. Just the way that they were working things out. Just like, they did the Peebo heavy arms. Didn't they just drop a Sandrock recently as well?
Yeah, I think they did all of them.
Yeah, so it made sense that was kind of like the way, and the anniversary's coming up real soon as well, right?
Is it? I don't know.
Thought so. I could be totally off my ass because I don't watch Wing at all, but I felt like there was something like that. Something was coming up where there was it was Double O that was the anniversary coming up, right? You can't do another Double O thing.
Well, yeah, I didn't expect a Double O just because I don't expect any Double O Verkaz,
right?
Because they're just like they've been releasing them regularly. So why
have a Verkaz?
Yeah, and if it was going to, you'd think it would be like the Exia or something, not.
Mm-hmm. Yo.
Okay. These are. This kid sucks. I don't like it.
The Zero, is that the one with the wings?
Yes.
Nice. At least it's the one with the wings.
I mean, I'm a little surprised because the high res wasn't too long ago. But I guess they don't care about.
Sorry, that. I have to chuckle. Some little
November release.
All right, let's see. Now that I've got that side glued down, I need to cover this side. This piece is too big. Let's pull out the box. The box.
What's in the box?
Lots of things in the box, guys. I got bags of things. What's in here? What are these? These are just garbage. Okay, that's good. This looks like pistons. Yeah, this is stuff that I pre-made for pistons. A whole bag full of that. That's fun. This is some like little detail components. Oh, this is like more weird piston failings.
Just wanting to line up here.
Rivets, hand cut rivets. All sorts of things in the box, guys. I assume that y'all got one of these as well. With all your
the box of goodies.
Yeah, with all your misgivings and your leftover tidbits. Everybody's got one of these, right? A right angle drilling jigs that you can drill holes in the exact same spot and everything. I could probably make one of those, right? If you have it, I don't know. Think about it. Maybe make one. Let's see. Lots of little things. A world full of.
I'm gonna look up this Wing Zero custom. I kind of want to see why it's different. What's so different about it? It's weird because I thought KotoKai had designed all that shit anyway. So like, what was the point?
I don't know. I got nothing in the game. Here we go.
Who would have such a thing?
That's right.
How many Instagram posts do I have to go down before I find it?
Oh, that piece looks like that piece is going to be pretty good. That's the one. Winner, chicken dinner. I didn't have to cut much of anything. Just got to clean it up a little bit. Oh, Pabs. Oh, I'm sorry, man. I feel your pain, baby. I've spent a long time looking for parts and then decided that they were long gone and then found them randomly while just looking for something completely different. And been like, oh, hey, there's that part for the Neo's Young that I thought that I was going to have to make a mold for and recast off the other part. Cool. That's great. Just using this flat bastard file to clean up the edges of this heavy count sheet. This is like 1 millimeter or more thick. What do we got? Survey says my friend Mr. Caliper tells me that it's an 060, which means that it is approximately a 1/16 of an inch wide. Which makes it about 1 millimeter, I think, right? I think that's about right. And I tell you what, after the fact, if you see this and you know that I'm wrong, go ahead and leave a comment down in the chat and like it while you're at it.
Wrong.
Paul? Any luck yet?
No, I don't see anything yet. It should be coming out like literally right now. It looks like it's 11 o'clock over there, which I believe is right now.
I don't know.
Building this kit makes me never want to build another unicorn.
Whew. I got burned out on the unicorn builds when I was building that big thing.
The Kashatra corn.
Yeah, the Kashatra corn, the Zach's custom contest. Yeah, man, that was a lot. It's a lot of unicorn.
This is not only that, but I was just looking just a minute ago. I don't think I built anything from unicorn even.
Jesta.
Jesta, there you go. That's it. Like I know the Jagan I think was in unicorn.
Yeah, unicorn fur, but yeah, I've got a Gyaradoga unicorn fur, but obviously I haven't built that shit.
I built this in Nanju Stein, but I have the narrative version. But I mean, I guess that's the same kit, really.
No, it's not. It's not even in unicorn. It's
yeah
material
from the
manga or whatever.
The manga, right? Not the movie.
Yeah.
Movies, show.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't get Bandai's hobbies. Bandai hobbies.
All right, so here we go.
Thing to even work.
A little bit of cement, a little bit of time, just quick, fast, nothing fancy, guys. This is all mechanical shit that goes. This is the wrong piece. It goes down on the inside. But oh yeah, look at that conflict of interest here. Now that I've added the thickness, kind of getting a witness. It only wants to go one direction. So what happened is that this side I cut far enough over, and then the other side over here I did not cut far. Wait, here we go. I did not cut far enough over this side. So two things I'm going to do. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to chamfer the edge of this. Everyone loves that term, chamfer bevel. I'm going to cut the edge of this off so that it's not wide, and I'm going to homogenize the two sides here. Here we go. I'm going over here. Homogenize these two sides.
And I can't get that shit to work. No, I couldn't find anything online currently, but
really,
oh, it's finally coming out. I couldn't get their website, like Bandai Hobby JP or whatever, to load. But now it's coming up, so maybe I'll be able to see it in a second.
It's probably got 1,500 people.
Yeah, I'm sure that doesn't help.
Nope.
And it's Japanese, so they're probably on like HTML15 or something like that.
I don't even know exactly what that means, so I can't talk shit. I too don't computer.
Silver just confirmed it. Just go to him on Instagram if he.
Mav? Silver Maverick?
Yeah. Yeah, either go to his Instagram or his Twitter. I'm sure he'll put it on there.
That's Ricardo.
Ricardo.
Good guy. Good guy.
Bandai Facebook page. Oh, there you go. Yeah, I can't get. I think it's because it's trying to load like an embedded video in their website, and for whatever reason, my phone's just being a dick right now. So. Hobby. Hobby.
I'm going on a very small limb.
Wing Zero Verka.
Bam. What do you think?
It
Pass muster?
Let me see if I don't know if anyone's gonna be able to. So it's kind of got the chest looks very similar to the high res,
Okay.
but the legs are not as complicated. They're still more like the traditional style.
Okay.
Mm,
Kind of overcut that, but that's all right. It's not going to really matter too much.
yeah, it's like a. I guess this is a Wing Zero 2.0, basically.
Gotcha.
Which the Wing Zero is an older kit than the rest of the Wing Master Grades.
Mm-hmm.
So.
All right, so what I'm doing here, dudes, is there's a lip. Whoa, we'll find it here. So there's a lip on the inside of this that you can't see because I already sanded that shit off. But over here, if I can get the focus, you can kind of see a lip inside of there. You can't. Fuck it. Anyways, I'm sanding down to that. What were you saying, Paul, about the furka?
Yeah, people in the chat are saying it kind of looks like the high res, but you build the frame. Yeah, the only thing that kind of stands out between the high res model and that one, the line art of the Verka, is the legs to me don't look as complex on the Verka. But we'll see. I mean, not.
So they look.
I love
than the high res.
Yes, I love the I love the Wing Zero, but I don't want another version.
Paul is one of those Wing boys.
Yeah, and I don't. But I would prefer something else. I'd prefer something that we don't have. 17 versions of it.
No.
What?
Why would you want to give a Xeon kit day of the light of day?
No, they don't get Verkas.
Why? The closest you got is the freaking Stein.
Yeah, and they made a Sinanju Verka.
Yeah. That's it, really.
This is Zabi. This is Zabi Verka.
Right, okay. Potato
And
tomato.
the Psycho Zaku?
Yeah, Psycho Zaku. Okay. Psycho Zaku's a little different, though.
Yeah, I don't like... It's a Verkan. I'm not complaining at all that we got it, but I don't see what he really did to it. Kotoki, it's just a 2.0.
Oh, we dressed it
high
up,
mobility tight with like a bunch of shit stacked on it. But typically, Kotoki kind of changes proportions, and
True.
messes with things.
Yeah, there was no like overarching crazy style change that happened with it, or
No.
Yeah. So, all right. So let's see.
All good though.
But I could trim that down now. I'm gonna break the rules. You broke the rules.
It's gonna be dope. I love me some Wing. We'll love the Wing.
Yeah, Paul loves
the Wing. Like I said, I mean, personally, I would have taken something we don't have. But you know what?
Oh, Paul
I say that shit, and I'll probably buy it. So
I was like, give me an Astray.
Yeah, I need more. Obviously, we need an Astray of our
Oh my god, shut up.
That's not number one on everyone's list.
You want to watch me rage? I joke. I kid.
I mean, I know a lot of people were talking about the like getting something from Hathaway's Flash. I didn't think that was necessarily going to happen.
Yeah, not yet. They got to see how it bites. Hasn't even dropped, right?
Right, and I don't know. Like the Penelope and the Kasi Gundam are pretty complicated. I don't know if you're going to see master grades of it. Like right
Penelope. I haven't put it together yet, but
yeah, and that's. I mean, it's an HG, and you see how big that damn box is.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it is quite big. It's up there with my Verkas, so that's how big it is. You can see gesturing up in the air. All right, so we're just ripping this chamfer off of the file. As you can see, dusty schmusty. On the other side over here, I already started tuning in that edge on this for this reveal right here. Just out with the file, real easy. You just kind of like, wow, I'm super far away because I don't have super zoom, but you eyeball where, and use your thumbnail, right, where this is going to line on this, and you just draw through that, and just make a small line and adjust from there. So I'm going to do that really quick down here. I'm actually using my index finger as the guide, not my thumbnail this time. But I'm literally like pushing against my index finger to make sure that my file stays in place, because your skin is more resilient than the plastic is. All right.
Hopefully.
Well, no, it will be. It will be eventually. Well, it will be. I mean, even if it isn't initially, it will be eventually. So.
All right, I got the torso built up here in unicorn mode. I don't know. Like, I would have built this thing in destroy personally, because that's how I would keep it. But now that it's like this, I don't know if I'm ever going to take this shit back apart, or transform it. I think this is gonna be it. It's just gonna stay in fucking unicorn mode.
Just fell down.
I feel like it should be another name, because it's not called the unicorn, right? It should be like the Phoenix mode, or like the
Right, because
Banshee mode. I don't know.
It's destroy mode. It's not unicorn mode. It's destroy mode, right? Versus the
untransformed, where you don't see all the shiny shit.
I see. Hands off that shiny shit. LOTR for those of you listening that know it.
Oh, so I finally got around to watching the last Star Wars the other day.
Oh, boys and girls, cats and kittens of all ages.
Have you seen it?
Which one? Jedi?
Yeah, the newest one.
Yeah.
Talk about fucking space magic, huh?
Yeah, it was okay. I didn't mind it for a movie. I mean, it did leave a lot to be desired in regards to the epics that the Star Wars franchise has been through Lucas films, even in regards to the old one, or not the old ones, but the new ones.
The prequels.
Like the Phantom Menace, the Clone Wars, and the Revenge of the Sith. Those ones fucking suck. But they're really good as well, you know. So I mean, it all kind of like ties in together. It does. There's a lot of things.
It's a typical J.J. Abrams plot where like shit just happens and he doesn't explain it. You know, like
right.
Like people are just in different places all of a sudden.
Yep.
You know, I thought I missed like 5 minutes of the movie to start off. I was like, what happened here? Like, did I miss something? Like, how?
You, sir, did not miss a thing.
Yeah, I was late to the party. I don't know why. I just didn't care to see it. And I watched it on Disney Plus last weekend.
I could see a Talgeese being in the works. Maybe next year for Furkoff.
I don't think so, because that kit's relatively new. Well, like it's like 2013 or 14.
Oh, gotcha.
And then they came out with the one and then they P-Banded the 2 and the 3.
Oh, right. So there you go. Then they wouldn't do that. Right. That makes sense. Good call. I wasn't thinking about the bigger picture.
What were people?
As I own
what the other one. There's another like common. Oh, it's going to be this. I just can't remember. You know.
I was hoping it would be the G Self, because obviously I'm a dreamer. Tell me I'm a dreamer. And it's a cool design. You know, I feel like it could lend it like it could be.
And they could P-band the shit out of those backpacks.
Yep, exactly. There's so many options, so many things they could do. But you know, hey, give it time or not. You know, whatever. It'll either happen or it won't. Which is a shitty way to say it, but it's true.
Yeah, I think
if you guys want that kit, or if you want to see something, dudes, and it's not being produced by the company, then make it yourself. Like, you can do it. I swear to you that you can do it if you just put your mind to it. Anything you want. Color me Willy Wonka, but you can have anything you freaking put your mind to. I swear. All right, I'm gonna cut the end of this off, guys. I'm cutting off the end of the peg.
Rick Dom would have been cool. I'm pretty sure we're gonna get a Dom 1.5 at some point here.
Better.
Like with the Dodge and whatever the hell. But speaking of Dom, I forgot to show something else I got in the other day. Brian, you have one of these.
Yeah, I do. Awesome. Sweet. This fits fully tight all the way down. Oh, here, I'll put it in the mic so you can hear it. That is the sound of a nice fitting polycap. I'm done. I can rest. Yeah, that's cool, right? They give you those cool pictures.
Yeah, I like that. So, looks pretty damn good too, man.
It is really
And
good.
it's not a super detailed. It's not like the Sazabi dress-up kit or something like that. Where it's 5,000 panel lines, but it's very, very clean.
It's not an ID either. Like in Sazabi dress-up kit is for Verka. It does like the Verka of dress-up kits.
Right. Yes, exactly. But it is a very good-looking kit.
Did I make it back to 90? No. Does this go to 90? No. Where did I go wrong? All right, well, so let's see. What can I do to make this work then, my dudes and dudettes, friends and fans?
What's the sea runner?
Okay, so what I'm dealing with is that this bad mo won't sit 90 degrees. It'll only go to there, which, as you can see, is most definitely not 90 degrees. So my initial instinct is to make it so that this sits offset so that it can go 90, which would in turn make it so that, let me switch cameras so that I can show you on my body what that shit would look like. Which in turn, so that like if I am the 303E, if I am the Deep Striker backpack, I have the rifle here, right? It is like just straight on. What that's going to mean is that it will then not just be here, but it'll be up and out slightly, which is legit, honestly. So, if I can get, because there's these two pegs on here, if I can get those two pegs to line up with polycaps as well, and just like totally redesign the whole apparatus that aligns this thing on the shoulder, I can then make this so that it is an arm that comes out like this, as well as coming up, and then also allowing for this to rotate up to give that rifle all of this and like out, like to the side, up, and all this cool movement. Like this is actually a happy accident. Bob Ross and the shit out of this. What do we have here? Any entry grade grandpa Gundam is surely nice. It doesn't have any stickers. I don't know which one that is they're talking about. William Wilms loves some side leg thrusters on the Dominance. They must be talking about the live release that's going on. Everybody's probably watching that on side screen and keeping us on the background. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you. I also appreciate you just telling us what's going on that.
Yeah, because I'm busy making magic. I'm here in Magic Land. All right, so then that means that this is the front here, and that this. I'm gonna need to try and make something cool to kind of like cover that shit up, because it's a little bit ugly. It's not horrific, but because it has to slide all the way out, it doesn't leave it a lot of room for cool happiness. It's only stark funkiness, like stark funky. All right, let's go to the books. The mega size instructions leave a lot to be desired. Mostly because they're designed to be put together by little people. Children. Did not come out how I wanted it to. Okay. What is that? Are those? All right. So those are okay. How about that? You guys know what I'm talking about. All I'm doing is saying, okay. Are those okay? So what you get, you're getting something like this, right? Does that look like anything to you? These are the assembly instructions.
Is that the thing where you like snap it in half? Like you can.
They're telling you to basically just sandwich components together, or runners. You sandwich runners together.
Yeah, you like break them in half, right? And like
Not even. Like, I think, yeah, either they're broken in half or they're not. Is that what it says? Yeah, they're here. Yeah, broken in half. Yep, right on poly. Yep. So yeah, broken in half. You pack them full of poly caps, and then you just snap them shits together. So like, trying to figure out reverse what the fuck I did is like,
one sandwich.
So wait, what am I looking at here? And it's been so long since I built these. But that being said, I absolutely believe in the power of cheese. This is super boring, so I'm going to put me on. Me, myself, and I. Oops. Hey, that siren is in time with the music. I got my extra giant parts bin. For my extra giant parts, here's your Zaku shield. No, I'm not a child. I'm a full-grown adult man. Actually, I think that's the band I need to get into.
Oh man,
I'm Camille's a brand's name, and I'm a boy.
I think these are they. No, easy there. Got these monster hands that aren't helping me. I think these are the parts I need, my dudes. I think. Yeah, boys. So in essence, what I'm doing is I'm stealing the guts from a foot. And I don't mean the Ninja Turtles, because fuck the Foot Clan. But, yeah, see? Zaku foot. So what I've done is I've stolen the interior mechanics out of that. The way that works is there's a couple of polycaps that fit inside this clamshell outer foot that in turn line with this funky piece, and this funky piece. These two dudes come together to make a, like that. See that right there? They make that, and then that peg fits into that frickin' polycap inside of there on both sides. But also, well, we're not done yet. Each one of these has a polycap that goes inside of it as well, right? And then that ties into these two components. It's a lot of polycaps. Regardless, great success.
get it?
I don't think I'll need these, but I'm gonna pull them out. I'm gonna pull these out. Make sure I have a associated set. There we go, left and right.
When I pulled this kit out, I was like, man, I wonder if this is going to build pretty quickly because I'm probably not going to be sanding that much.
Not good, huh?
That's incorrect, as it were.
I was mistaken.
Dead wrong.
Ruh-roh. So maybe I can use this. Isn't it wild how they like make the whole like this front section and the whole top of the foot on the mega size like all these just two clamshell components? Kind of wild. Come to daddy. Episode 69. Not that means anything. OMG WTF BBQ. Epic 69th episode. Epical. I think it's these.
Strangest fucking head I've ever built on a Gundam by far.
Dude. Don't blame me. It was the one-arm main. That doesn't make any sense. All right. So, polycaps on polycaps on polycaps, my friends, my fellow builders and fanatics out there in Fantasyland. All right, what do we got here? We got fuck, what's the instructions? Because okay, that's the front sew, that's the back sew. The front sew was the side with the pistons that we cut off. So this is the piston side that we cut off already. Let's switch this over to the other camera to make it more palatable. All right, so jeweler saw out of the way. Here, thank you for being a friend. All right, so yeah, this side was the piston side, and this side was the chonk side. So the chonk side is the back side, the piston side is the front side. This component with the polycap in it is the front side. So the front side goes here, like so. The back, the AS end goes here, like so. All right, and with this, oh snap, that gives me yet another point of moment, dudes. What? Look, we got it all. I got it all. Oh, nothing at all. All right. Anyways, so this now. So how the fuck do I use this in the arm? So yeah, this is the backpack. The face is like looking at me. The head is here. It's looking at me this direction. This is the left shoulder, or the right shoulder. The model left to me, looking at it. How do I incorporate this component? I guess I could just leave it static and it would still get up the pitch this direction. And this would still get all of its rotational chutzpah. Right? Right? So you got like normal to the camera. Oh, come on. Oh, you're so heavy. I know I'm sorry.
Framed to do a master grade of the Ultron TV version and Death Scythe Hell TV version. Yeah, I don't know.
Because these fit in.
I kind of feel like, I mean, I'm sure eventually we'll get TV versions, but I have a hard time believing that's why we haven't gotten them though.
Let's see. The easiest thing to do would just be to mount this, like glue this hard into place on this. On that.
Alrighty. We need a different runner.
It's already gigantus. But, you know, this is a pretty decent sized kit. It's going to have to be pretty gigantus.
Pretty gigantor.
I mean, it is the freaking Deep Striker, so. See a seam, I gotta sand it out. I'm sorry.
It is not a shallow striker. It's a deep striker.
I got it. I got it and I thought it was funny. Patrick Robertson, no, I'm not making an SD mega size Zaku, though I did actually. You must be reading my mind because I had thought about that earlier today. I thought about it for about 20 minutes, actually. So it isn't something that's off the radar. But yeah, no, not currently. No, I'm working on the what I've been lovingly called the Backpack King as a joke. The XS cross with the Plan 303 Deep Striker. So
the deeper striker.
Yeah, I've got my camera over here like all up in the middle of the business. Let's get it out of the way. But yeah, so this is what we've got right now for that. And then what I'm currently working on is a replacement mount for this aspect right here. I know that light is a little bit blaring in the background. I apologize for it being so bright. But yeah, so I'm working on a replacement joint for this right here, which is just a fixed peg component. If you're familiar with 0303, I don't know if you've seen Zach's videos or whatever. But yeah, the shoulder, that joint on the backpack is fixed. It's 3 hard pegs, and so there's no movement at all in that. And what I wanted to do is be able to allow that gun to be positionable in all directions. So I started dorking around with some of these mega size joint components. This is a mega size hip. It's supposed to be this direction. And then this is a mega size ankle here. And this is also a lower, this is like the foot on the inside. The foot. So yeah, that's like that's what I'm messing around with right now. Polly's just straight snap build. And I was gonna straight snap build something else, and I was like, I'm just gonna, it's like, nah man, just fucking go for it. Show it off. Oh, for those of you that were not here earlier, I'm going to steal the show again, Paul.
Yeah.
And here we go. I've been working on these tanks, which is also for our guy here, Backpack King. So these are some tank assemblies. These duders, I can show it without the gun hitting the back of the workbench. Yeah, I can. All right, so this is going to go here. It says turn sideways. Boom. So these guys are going to go under here, up inside, mounted to the underside of these thruster components off the central tank assembly. So yeah, these cool dudes is something that I've been kind of like dorking around with for the last like handful of days, off and on. They're just these like tank assemblies. Basically just like a recycled piece of packaging that I mixed with a bunch of styrene tubes and sheeting, and I made a bunch of components and just kind of like designed it all out and put it all together. And then I made 4 of them, because that's how you do it, essentially. And it just takes a little bit of time and planning. Drew a bunch of pictures, and I feel like they came out pretty decent. I haven't quite figured out, they're not fully finished yet. I just sprayed them down with just a little bit of primer today to kind of get an idea as to what everything is looking like. That way I know, like, did I fuck it up really bad, or am I doing okay? And I can just kind of like put it in the background until I worry about it at a later date. It's really how it goes down. Did I fuck it up really bad, or is it passable for now? In my opinion, one of the worst things that happens is you work your ass off on something, you make this like chef's kiss of a fucking component. It looks so good. You're like big brain. Oh, looks amazing. And then you work on the kit for another month. And then you come back to that and you're like, oh, what did I do? That is the worst. Because you're criticizing yourself because you've just gotten better for your own skill. And that's just like, in a way, that's like, that is that bittersweet. That is that, what is that? It's not kismet. What is it? It's can't remember what it's called. But yeah, so when you're like, it's bittersweet. It's literally what it is. It's like, oh my God, I'm upset that I am so much better than I was before. No. That's a good thing. The hard part is going back and making that thing good again, or better, or just accepting it. That's the part. Can you imagine all of those like famous painters back in the day that finished all these works of art and had them hanging? If they'd known that all of this works of art would be hanging in these museums for hundreds and hundreds of years, do you think that they would be pleased with all the shit that they put out? Especially those guys that get like Egon, like what's his name, Chile, who just has like a bunch of like sketches and stuff, just like real rando stuff, but people really appreciate it for like the depth behind the art in itself, like the creativity behind the line and like the masterfulness of the capturing the human form and all this stuff. But for him, he's just like, my fucking sketchbook, whatever. We went out and got a big ass bottle of wine, and I hung out and smoked with the boys and drew, and that was it. And like now y'all are like, oh, put it in the museum. It's like, think about it like that, guys. Every mistake is another man's, Mona Lisa. I will drink to that. I was kind of thinking about trying to use these footy parts, right? I got these mega sized footy parts to like tie the whole shebang together here, but this doesn't fit with the excess aesthetic. So, nope. You're going back in the bin.
To the bin with you.
For another project.
The pit of despair.
Ooh. No pits of despair. What is this, Princess Bride? I do have, and I think I've showed this before, but I'll show it again because we probably got a handful of new viewers out there for me, and you as well, Paul. But I keep my polycaps semi-organized in these like the pencil tray. It's like I got it at the dollar store for like $1. The noisy side is Kotobukiya connectors because they always give you a shitload. But I have a couple of different versions of this. I got a red one and a blue one. And they just have the different polycaps that I collect. So if you're collecting your extra parts and you're dipping your extra parts out into different things, also do that with your polycaps and keep them sorted. That way, when you need them and you're trying to do something like I need to attach this ball joint aspect here to the undersides of these thruster components. So I went through and I dug up these nice little polycaps that fit perfectly on those ends, and all I have to do now is make a new housing for them to stick up inside the thrusters. So, which I'll go over. If you're curious about that, leave a comment down below, or you can message me on Instagram or whatever, and we can talk about it. But yeah, so I'll be doing that, which is sweet. I've got so much detail planned for this thing. I'm trying to figure out how, so I've got these cool. I made these guys. They're like surrounds for the tanks. For some reason, this would kick the game. All right, so they're like structural surrounds for the tanks. I have them on the main tank and the two tertiary tanks, the two secondary tanks. We'll call them not tertiary, secondary tanks. So I've got these components, and it's just literally made from a tape roll, a spent tape roll that I cut in half with the jeweler saw, and then I filed down to be equal sized, like it is, and then I just have these. It's just stuck on styrene. I could just pull it apart right now. There you go. So yeah, you can see it's just stuck on styrene tubing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build some trussing between those styrene tubes. So I'll double these styrene tubes up, and then I'll build some trussing that makes a standard crisscross triangular trussing out of some smaller diameter styrene rod, and then that will also be like this beautiful lattice, and then that will be on all three of those different thrusters. So I'm going to be making 9 of those lattice works. 9 of those lattice works. It's going to be a lot. It's probably going to end up being 100 or so parts, which is going to be cool because they'll have to be specifically cut and specifically glued together. So I may be making a really cool jig out of wood to help me put all of those parts together and allow this to be regular and a repeated thing. So it looks all really, really clean. The last thing I want to have to do is try and shoot all this stuff from the hip because it's going to end up screwing me in the end. So I'll be doing something cool with that, which is great. If you are watching this now, you can stay tuned for that in the future. I'm not even closing down. We got 20 minutes left of the show. But I'm just excited. I got all this stuff. Started thinking about things for the future for this thing. I got to work on the arms and the legs because the XS was originally designed to be transformed. It has a very simplistic joinery around the hips, and the thighs are really nothing. So I wanted to add skirt armor and beef up the thighs a little bit, rework the knees and add some detail on there, and then kind of tighten up the lower legs. They do have some cool thruster detail and some elements on there that look really nice, but I feel like I'll be able to do something positive to kind of tighten some of the here. Let's turn over here. Tighten some of the little finer details down here in the lower front of the leg where it's meant to just kind of fold together. So there's weird gapping that doesn't make any sense at all. I love the knees with the funnels. I believe these are funnels, right? And those are cool, but the hips are just they're nothing, man. The legs are nothing. The hips are nothing. So yeah, I'm gonna have to try and do something like that. I get this great archive gym book, which is full of a bunch of really cool detailed, it's the second gym book, so it's got the more crazier armor stuff. So I'm going to try and do some sort of Fetty style skirts, whether or not I do that as a scratch build or I do that as a kit bash, because I've got a bunch of donor kits that I've built myself or have been gifted to me to be able to use for that, which is a blessing. Speaking of donor kits and stuff going around, the Mecha Army Bash box is going around. My good friend Z has it right now. He's going to be sending that to me. And I started pulling things out of my selection of pile of shit over here. to throw into it. So that's pretty cool. Looking forward to trying to put some more items out there into the community. Now, when these things come around, you have to realize that it's just like it's kind of a give and take thing. I'm not probably going to take much of anything out of it because I've got so much to give, but it isn't mean that when you get the box that you should just be like, oh my god, I'm going to take all this stuff. You should be just like, take what you need and what you're going to use and let the rest of the stuff go on to everybody else. So please try to keep that in mind if you're joining in on one of these community projects like this, because it all does definitely it relies on our good nature will towards each other and our positivity. So like the likelihood of one bad seed really ruining the experience is pretty high. So, you know,
don't be that guy.
Yeah, don't be that guy. Thanks, Paul. Paul's my closer.
You'll be shamed. We will shame you.
Paul just like ties it all together. Add away.
Shame.
Patrick Robertson, thank you. Just saw your comment about the good use of the mega-sized joint pieces. Yeah, Patrick, I did a big build earlier this year where I built up a full resin Calamity Regal Sniper custom model kit where I utilized a bunch of those mega-size joint components and like reworked the resin kit to be a posable model kit. So if you are curious about that, we can talk more about it in Insta. There's some photos out there as well on my Instagram, which is also Bro Builder, which you can see right here below me. I don't have any videos out on this stuff right now because I really spend a lot of my time here at the Workbench creating things, and I'm working on all these different projects. So it's hard for me to create like the high-end, cool-looking videos that everybody like has, or not everybody, but a lot of people do have these high production videos. I can't do that, but I produce the work. So if you have a question, I always am down to talk. So I'll talk to you on Insta. I'll talk to you on Facebook. Doesn't matter to me. And I'll gladly share photos and share all of this information that I have, that all the stuff that I've learned over the years with anybody that's interested in trying to figure this stuff out, or is curious about trying to maybe enhance their skills, or wants to give me a tip or something that you think you know something that I don't know. Please lay it on me, because I want to know what you know, and I want you to know what I know. And that, I think, is what this is all about for all of us to like lock it down and like, you know, make some really cool, fun things that we appreciate. Some of you want to keep on your shelf for the rest of your life, as opposed to just like, I don't know. I'm trying to be positive. I'm sorry.
How dare you?
He says, I'm that guy. I'm keeping everything. And Z is a liar. He's a liar. I saw what he's throwing in. He's doing the right thing. Do the right thing. Just like Rosie Perez said today.
The right thing.
In the city. Do the right thing.
Be a man.
Hey, don't be dumb. Wear a mask. Do the right thing. Let's see.
There we go. Now it's working.
I don't think.
See, this thing is another. So there's a lot of small parts, right?
Mm-hmm.
And nubs are an issue because it's actually fucking up my fitting, because I'm not used to not sanding the shit out of them.
Paul, I want to know what love is. I want you to show me.
So you're not really going to be able to. This just looks like shiny shit, but this little piece right here, chest vent, is one of the pieces that moves around during transformation. And I don't know if you can see like that little white nub. It's actually two nubs together, one from this one from this one, and they just come together perfectly. And like I said, I'm not sanding this thing, obviously, because you see nubs. You're going to see nubs anyway. But
what are you using for? What are you using for nippers?
Oh, I got the USA Gundam Store nippers. But like I said, the challenge is like if it was not so shiny, it's just hard to see what you've even clipped. Like if you're flush or not, you can only really do it by feel, maybe. But the design's very angular, so it's kind of even hard in some of those senses. And then I'll go over it with the blade just to clean it up. But I couldn't even tell that it was actually two nubs, just kind of like right in the perfect spot where it wasn't letting the chest like close up tight. So I had like this part was sticking out a little further than on the other side.
Undergated?
Not at all. 0% undergated.
Oh shit! Here we go. We got it. We got one. We got one from Z.
Can I have that? This kid is fun. Z, you don't want it. Like
Z's not a kid. Z's got kids.
No, Kit.
Kit. Oh, sorry.
No.
Yeah. Oh,
You don't
sorry.
want this damn kit.
No shit, right? This is shiny as fuck though. It looks gorgeous.
Yeah, it's hard. Like especially, I almost feel like the lights are a problem.
Where's your? Oh, look at that! Now you can see it.
Right. Like I feel like this is bad to build with. Like you're used to like, as much light as you can get on your build, good. But
Right.
It just reflects off of it and just makes it really hard to see.
William Wild says, "Look at those sweet, sweet pollens." They match the silky voice. Trust.
I have as bad. Every one of these fingers is fucked. Yeah, PG. I think that one's somewhat undergated.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was curious.
Yeah, the master grade is not at all. It would really benefit from just a little bit of undergating.
So Ronan, Gumpa Ronan Z says, ha ha ha, he has the PG.
Yeah.
Shiny
I
chrome.
can only imagine, man. Like I don't know if you were here when I talked about it earlier. This is the first unicorn I've built in any iteration. I had the real grade for a little bit and I gave it away.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I don't own an HG, and I don't have any interest in the PG. So
yeah, no, I did the 2 full armors to make the Kshatricorn.
Right.
I built for fun.
Unfortunately for myself, I also have the Verka, the full armor unicorn. And I have at least one iteration of the Banshee somewhere in here.
Right. Yeah, I just had the
and I have the regular unicorn master grade, the one that comes with that crazy cage.
Oh, right. What the fuck is that thing called? The hanger?
Yeah, I bought it more for like the hanger itself than I was like, oh, sweet. I mean, it's a unicorn. I'm sure I'll build it at some point, but I really want that cage.
Yeah, it's totally like a parts kit or something.
Right.
I had
the
opportunity to pick up the full armor for unicorn with the when I won the OMC, but I wanted to not do that. So.
I'm regretting my decisions now. This is not a fun kit to put together. At least for
me. Regretting putting that. Oh, Paul.
Like it hasn't been a fun build. I'm not that far into it. Maybe the arms and legs will get better. Maybe they'll get worse. I'm going to go with worse, but it's not a fun build, which is fine. I mean, once it's built, it's built. But like I said, this is just going to sit on the shelf for quite a while. But it's a kit that I'm sure to paint is fucking hell. God damn it! To strip all this and then sand it perfectly smooth, and then if you want to paint it back chrome, obviously that's.
I could say, maybe.
It's definitely like you pick. Do you want it in unicorn mode or do you want it in destroy mode? And when you paint it chrome, you build it in that mode, and then you don't fucking touch that again.
Don't even think about it. I can't even imagine the amount of fingerprints that you've put on that plating.
Yeah, horrible. And can you imagine like painting this, because chrome generally scratches easy, like any real shiny high gloss metal finish is going to scratch pretty easily. And then I don't even know, like, because you clear it, you're going to get like an orange peel over the top of it, so you're going to have to
can't clear it unless you do. I mean, you could spray clear on it, like talk to Pabs. Pab knows all about chroming and making things beautiful. He gave me the tips that made my chrome game up quite a bit. Just like
shiny and chrome.
I was just going ham, hard as a motherfucker on it, and
nope, light coats, 45-degree angle.
Calm down.
Move the part constantly.
Calm down. And if as soon as you think you haven't put enough on, you need to set it down and work on another part, because go back and look at it later. And then add a little bit more. Don't flood.
especially over like gloss black. You don't realize that how not chrome it is until you get like one perfect piece. You know, like because you don't realize how much of the black you can still see through it. You know, and then you get like one that's perfect, and then you're like, all right, now let me compare it. Okay, this one's still a little dull. Go back over. And like I said, it's super light misting, low PSI. Like I've used the Alcalad chrome a couple times, and you have to like even the angle you hold the brush at affects like how the metallics lay down on it
depends
and reflect.
Like how it falls onto it versus whether it's being blasted to it versus
like, right. Crazy. Like I swear, I don't know why, but like I hold it at a certain angle, and I constantly move the part. The minute you stop moving the part or moving the brush, it pulls, and then you can see like a dull spot.
And then it's like,
especially if you want like, high shine.
Sad face with a tear on your face, on the corner of your cheek.
Mm-hmm. I haven't used like the types that you polish out, like you buff.
You can
the
buff
Alcalad,
everything.
you don't. Yeah, but the Alcalad, like you don't really have to buff to get it. Like a mirror. I didn't go chrome though. What did I do? It was like a polished aluminum or something like that.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I get now. I get like a nice, like a bright stainless.
Yes,
finish is what I get. I would consider it not. I would consider it a non-directional number 9 is what I would call my finish. 12 being chrome dip, but non-directional being satin or semi-satin. So it's like a higher end satin, but like a bright one.
So I used like I think it was, I'm trying to remember what the color, like what it was called, but it wasn't, it didn't have as much of like a blue tone as chrome does. Like it's just a little toned down, like a little more silvery, but it's still very highly polished.
Back basing with a shinier dark blue, like a cobalt or something type.
Yeah,
so like this is what I'm talking about being like a satiny number 9. That's pretty shiny. You're getting good color reflection. You're getting good gloss. You're getting like distortion and blowout with the camera, but you don't get the mirror reflection that we were getting on what Pabs was showing on the Horseman stream.
Right.
I think that was a week ago. Yeah, we could go, or 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, maybe.
I mean, when you think about it, though, like what you're using, right? Even if you chrome those thrusters, the minute you put heat through them, they're no longer going to be chrome.
Yeah, they're going to distort. They're going to fade. They're going to do funny things.
So not many things like would have a real world function to be chrome, other than for looks. Like like a polished aluminum or a stainless is much more realistic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the chrome and the candy just looks so good.
Yeah, it looks great on armor, and it looks great for like when you're like I especially like it when people have like that flat gray frame, and then they just have little bits of metallics picked out, and you can use like a chrome or polish something or another little bit of gold, a little bit of copper, something like that, just to make something stand out. Looks great. Or something like this. This is very like this isn't functional. This is.
No, it's not. It's not meant to be a.
Yeah,
it's not a piece of machinery. You're not trying to build a tractor or a tank,
right?
Or a flying saucer,
this is space
or
magic.
Whatever.
Space magic, super robot.
Beyond flying saucer, space magic. That's what I'm saying. So I was watching Ancient Aliens earlier today, so got the Vril on my mind. I also have that Hyunbyu 2 model from Squadron, also right above my workbench. It's also like weighing back here. All the other military models that I have collected that I'm like, must space duty make.
I finished this thing up earlier in the week. I think I was still snapping this last week. The Swordfish 2.
You finished that?
Cool.
That's not finished.
Just it's all snapped.
Oh, okay.
Pretty cool little kit.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit flimsy, or not as stable as like a Gundam, but I would probably glue a good majority of it together because I'm never gonna it doesn't. It should. I mean, the wings actually like fold up, but overall, I'm probably never gonna pose it. Let's say. I have no posing plans. But cool.
No opposing plans or posing plans?
No imposing posing plans.
Cool. For those of you that are watching my show that are going to be tuning into our good friend Armida, Tex Marquise's show, following mine, she's running a few minutes late, so we're going to run just a little bit long, talk a little bit more shit.
Yeah.
Have a little bit more casual sippy time from our R2D2 themed beer koozie. Oh my.
Oh, so we stopped at so even though I'm not drinking something local, we actually did stop at our local brewery on the way home from work today.
Mm-hmm.
And they are making their own hard seltzer.
Ooh, snap. Very nice.
Yeah, my wife grabbed a few of those. I didn't get the chance to try one.
You'll have to give a report back on the Discord.
Yeah,
That's,
she's
the Alex Discord. If those of you are concerned, you can join that by going to Alex's page. I'm watching this little something by Lagunitas go down my drain hole here. Gulp, 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 gulp. It's so good. It is a 64.2 IBU, 7.5% IPA.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not incredibly tart. It's only 64. Like when you get in the upper 80s, even into 100, then you start to get like, drink this beer.
You get that a little bit heavier on that pine sol flavor.
Well, it's not even that. They don't even have to be piney, dude. They're just like a little bit sharp, a little bit acrid. They got a little bit more of a bite draw.
I like the hazy IPAs because they usually add a little bit of citrus, and it doesn't necessarily take away the tartness, but it replaces it with like a citrus tartness rather than that piney or even an alcohol taste.
Do you like Belgians?
Yeah, I will drink. I like every beer, even like sours. I'll play with
Belgium
a little bit. It just depends on like why it's sour. I don't like vinegar sours, but like a citrus sour or something like that, I'm good. Yeah, I love Belgian white.
Dude, talk about vinegar sour. Earlier this evening, Colleen was making pasta sauce because she's the saucy girl. And we were talking about the content of the sauce, and I told her that she should put some balsamic vinegar into the sauce because it needed a little more bite. And she said, but balsamic is so sweet. I said, balsamic is sweet? She said, yeah, balsamic is so sweet. It's so sweet I can't even drink spoonfuls of it.
You shouldn't do that.
She said she couldn't drink balsamic because it's too sweet.
I mean...
What kind of monster did I marry?
I have to go in the other room now.
She's over there snickering at me, reading a book on the couch, cuddling with a cat. No, it's fine. It's just taste. It's just the way it is. I'm just not a vinegar kind of person. But
the first sour beer I ever had, I have a buddy who he used to work for. I can't think of the name of it. The Brown Distributing. Anyway, we go to some bar and he's like, "Oh, you got to try this beer," and he doesn't mention that it's a sour. Like he doesn't say like, "Hey, Paul, this is a sour beer."
Really like oddly.
I like, okay, yeah. I mean, hey, you work for a beer company, you would know. So take a big gulp, and it is like that vinegar sour flavor. And I was like, "What the fuck? Did you just give me bad beer? Is this rotten? Is it spoiled?" Not for me.
He's like, no, it's like a 12. It's a 12 point alcohol percent. 120 IBU.
I love a good high. Like over a 10% IPA or kind of like an imperial stout. Like
alcohol
that's
content
strong.
doesn't equal sour. That's like has to deal with your like IBUs and your bitterness.
Yes.
That has to do with I had so before Ballast went weird, right before they got sold over to InBev, they did the habanero sculpin. I don't know if they're still making the habanero sculpin from their Ballast Point line of beers. They did like a grapefruit sculpin. Everything's named after a fish, so it's just kind of how they were doing their thing. Ballast Point and all that. Anyhow, the habanero sculpin had a literal fire finish to it.
Yeah,
it had like a nice clean drink. It was a good taste, good pull on the initial like sip across the tongue, and the wash on the palate was good. But as soon as it got to like to here, it wasn't even in the throat. wasn't the tongue, wasn't the back of the tongue, wasn't the throat. It was when it got to here, and from here to your belly was just like
burn.
started a furnace. Right? It wasn't like the acid reflux burn or the heart burn or the stuff, you know, you get like a
strong liquor burn, like when you have like a shot on an empty stomach and you get that like warm.
Right, or if you drink like some Coca-Cola, some Diet Coke or something like that on an empty stomach or something, that weird like aspartame burn that you'll get. But it was like this. It's in it. It's still. It's just like I feel it right now, even though I haven't had any in months. I could just, wow! It is like this crazy, and the pervasive carry. It just carries and carries. Habanero.
We have one of the local places had a beer called Mexican Standoff, and when you drink it, like the initial, it's not spicy though, right? But like that initial flavor you get is like a dark chocolate. I don't know, like it's pretty sweet, but then all of a sudden you feel your lips start burning. So it's like a sweet heat almost, and you're like, "What the fuck is going on?" Like my mouth is on fire, but it's not like hot sauce. You know, it's not that like the heat. It's like it's just this burn after a while, and you're like, "Oh, it wasn't for me. I didn't care for it." Spicy is not how I want to describe my drinks. It's not for me. Like I don't like Bloody Marys. It's not.
Yeah, that was such the shock to me was that how like, you know, spicy it was. Madness.
Other than that, yeah, I like a good like Belgium white, any of that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, I can't do Belgians.
A Saison, I'm good. What do we got here? Shinerbach, best beer in my opinion. As long as you like it, but Shinerbach's okay.
No, Shinerbach is good. Honestly, not gonna lie, Shiner's a good company. Their Bach is actually quite nice. It's a good like fall beer. Actually, I would say it's good chilling, like barbecue beer.
That's how I feel about tear gas. I'm sure tear gas burns.
Oh, yeah, I can only imagine. Thankfully, knock on wood.
I've been hit with tear gas. It doesn't feel good. Tear gas paintball things.
Yeah, I'm for against it.
Whiskey. Always drink whiskey. I like whiskey.
Whiskey is always good. I'm on more of a straight bourbon, but.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, of course, Manny is going to be like, drink whiskey always. Man, watch out, Paulie. When you're up here and we're hanging out, like the next time world is normal again and you're up here at a convention, we're chilling with the crew, watch out for fucking Manny. The man is dedicated.
Is that sweet tea or whiskey?
Of course, Z says tear gas does burn because he knows he was in the military. As was Clueless if he's still around. I can't remember if Bill was in or not.
Yeah.
Take a hot shower and it burns again. Now they're trading.
Sweet tea colored whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
We went to, my wife and I and my family, we went to Gatlinburg, Tennessee in, I don't know, February, I would say, like right before the Corona thing went crazy. And they have all these moonshine distilleries, but they had a whiskey distillery up there. And we did like a tasting. And all of them are awesome, like even the moonshine thing, because it's $10, right? To do like a tasting, or it might be $5. I don't know, whatever it was. But they give you, it's like a third shot of every one of their moonshines. And most of them have like 15 to 20 different moonshines. So you're taking, like for $5, you're taking 5 shots at least. Wow. And then for they give you like a wristband for the $5 or $10. Whatever the cost is, they give you that towards your purchase of moonshine. So you go there, you have 5 shots of moonshine, and then you go buy a jar for $20 and take your $5 off of it, and then walk out of there. Yeah. Wow. So you're like, buy moonshine and get 5 free shots.
I'm a fan.
Yeah. And the guy does like a little show as he's pouring them, like he makes some jokes, and he talks about like all the different ones they have, and they had some interesting ones. Like I had that peanut butter and jelly one. And you take the shot, and then like you breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth, and like in you taste peanut butter, and then out you taste jelly. Wild stuff like that.
That
Yeah.
sounds awesome.
It was. I mean, and sure,
I am
$5, right?
I'm down. Like, how do we do this? Damn quarantine.
Yeah, so it was like 20 something degrees when we walked in the place, and
Here you go, man.
feeling nice and warm.
Manny says it sounds like his kids kind of peoples, and that affecting. I believe that, like dead ass. I believe that.
Patron Silver has this aftertaste of like green apples. I'm not a big tequila fan. It's
I used to drink Cuervo Gold like nobody's business. More than I should have drank it, we'll say.
Tequila is I used to like it when I was a little younger, and I had a couple of nights where I had a few too much of it and a little too much of it, and then now like the smell and taste of it just turned my stomach.
Yeah, I get a roughness with like Sambuca and Jägermeister. Can't do either anymore. I used to drink only Sambuca for like a couple of years in my early 20s.
Yeah, I've had Sambuca, and we used to drink something called Black House, which is like a blackberry schnapps. It was like a college thing. You would take shots of it.
Oh,
we thought they were cool. But I went to my wife's uncle's house, and he gives me coffee, and it's got Sambuca in it. And I didn't know, like, so I take like a bit, coffee. Here we go. And, whoa! Not a fan anymore. That black licorice taste.
Yeah, Sambuca is a little different. It's very syrupy and very thick. I used to drink the white or the clear Sambuca as opposed to the black.
Yes.
But yeah, like even just that or Jaeger or any of those things, you have too much of them in your youth, and it just like kind of ruins it.
Right.
Another one that I was
Another
one I was a huge fan of for a little while was ginger brandy. And there's a little company out in Wisconsin that may still be there. It's called Mohawk, and they make the best ginger brandy available. So if you guys out there in Wisconsin, out there in the Midwest, I know Z's out there, I know Clueless is out there, Pabs is out there as well. They're in like the Chicagoland area. Go ahead and try and get your hands on some Mohawk ginger brandy. It is so delicious. The spice, the smooth, got a little punch. Very, very good. Support your local businesses, dudes, if you can.
Texas tequila and beer like apple juice.
Oh, Manny says Sambuca is the best with espresso and a twist of lemon. I can see that. I can see it as like it's supposed to be an aperitif. You're supposed to drink it after digestion. You're not supposed to drink it by the bottle like us idiot Americans fucking do. I'm not gonna lie.
Tastes like candy, down it.
No shit.
But yeah, tequila, like I said, just not a flavor I can deal with anymore.
I love limoncello, so like as an aperitif, that's same thing. It's kind of like sweet, it's a little bit bitter. It's got a little something to help kind of like smooth-a-voo the ride.
Yeah, it's pretty much like whiskey, bourbon, scotch, vodka, because it just mixes with whatever.
Yep.
I used to drink a lot of rum, and now it gives me hangovers, so I don't drink it anymore.
Yeah,
just
you're
the sugar content on.
You're down there in the sweetness of it.
Yeah.
Bacardi is a stone's throw away on Puerto Rico.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Deep Eddy's vodka? Yeah, I've had Deep Eddy's quite a few times. It's all right. Deep Eddy's is fine. Vodka to me is vodka for the most part. Like, a bottle of Smirnoff is fine.
You all should try some Death's Door gin if you get the opportunity. It's made here in the great state of New York. Very good. Death's Door gin. Me and my Death Wish coffee and my Death's Door gin.
Oh man, they sell Death Wish coffee K-cups now. They have them now? Yeah, well, I've been drinking Death Wish for quite a while now. You put it on to me like
I converted another
like 2 years ago though, maybe. And I was buying it and grounding it up and making it at work where we have like a regular coffee machine. But my wife has always had like a Keurig here, so I would never buy it and leave it in the house because I don't have a regular coffee pot. Well, now at Target too, nonetheless, they sell the Death Wish K-cups. So I grabbed a couple of those.
It's the best.
It is.
He literally has the most. My subscription comes in on Saturday, so I have to figure out where my coffee is going to come from tomorrow because I ran out today. I may have enough left from my holdovers from the Caribbean. I have like a little bit of coffee left over from when we went to the Caribbean very early in the year. Super lucky I got a chance to go before all the shit went down.
Goldschlager, that's some good memories. Yeah. That's some stuff I don't remember because of Goldschlager.
Right?
Yeah, and it's like a cinnamony taste. It was like a
gold flecks in it.
Yeah. A little Kahlua and a dash of cinnamon. You know, after what was the cinnamon one? That Fireball. So like when that first came out a couple of years ago, we would do fire and ice shots. So you would take a shot of Fireball and a shot of like Rumpleman's back to back. What? And now it was like a Game of Thrones thing. We used to do it like every Sunday. Like me and a couple buddies would get together, we'd watch Game of Thrones and take shots. And now, man, even that cinnamon taste is just not something I enjoy.
Like,
I have impeccable memory when it comes out to having a night of drinking. That's good.
Manny, that I don't know. We'll see. I have seen this man down countless shots. That's all that I can say.
Game of Thrones ruined so many things. Yep.
The Uncow.
Sunday. Order 4 Kings. No, man. I'm a vodka soda. I'm a whiskey and a beer maybe. Easy going, simple, or just a beer, depending on the mood.
What is 4 Kings?
If I understand right, there's we didn't call it 4 Kings. I'm assuming it's like a 4 horsemen shot, where it's like, what is it? Johnny, Jim, Jose, and something else. I don't remember. It's a shot with all alcohol.
Right.
If it's the same thing, unless it's something else I'm not aware of.
What would there be, like Johnny, Jim, Jack?
Yeah, and Jose, I think. Yeah. It's gross. Disgusting.
Horrible. We used to roll Red Roosters back in the day, which were pretty decent. That was
Aries, Jack, Johnny, Jim, Jose. Yeah, we called it a 4 horsemen instead of a 4 Kings, but
Red Roosters were was like a shot of OJ, a shot of tequila, and a shot of tomato juice.
Ooh, I can't do tomato juice.
But no, other way. Tomato juice, tequila, OJ. That's how it went. So you would go tomato juice, OJ, or tequila, OJ. But not full shots, like half a shot of tomato juice, full shot of tequila, half shot of OJ. Those are your wheels. So it's like your salt, your...
Yeah. No, it makes sense.
Lick a slam and suck it kind of thing. If you like wheels with your tequila. I never did wheels. I just always drank my triple shots of tequila straight. So that's how Brian used to roll. Those were some dark days. Gotta say. I'm cool with my little bit of beer over here. We're good. We're all good. My working bench. We're all right. But that being said, here we are. We're 15 minutes past, just about. So I'm going to wrap this thing up. If Tex hasn't started yet, that isn't my fault. She's going to be coming through very, very soon, guys. I'll probably see some of you over there in the chat. I don't know if Paul's going to be joining us, but I know he doesn't have to work tomorrow, so maybe we can peer pressure him into doing it. This has been the KotoKai Robo-Dojo, the Workbench episode number 69. Thank all you fine people for showing up today. I think we hit 25 again, which is pretty rad. I'm really glad to have some good participation like this, to see all you cool people in the chat having a good time and trying to learn a little bit. I'm trying to show a little bit more. So once again, if you have any questions, hit me up in the comments below. You can send me a message on Instagram. You can send me messages on Facebook if you want to as well. I'll try and see them. But yeah, man, like we're all here to help and have a good time and build some cool shit. Paul?
Yeah. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Appreciate another Thursday. See you guys next week.
Hell yeah. And build more models if you need more models. Like it says on the banner, you can go ahead and look over at
This one,
USA
don't build
Gundam
this
Store. You can build that one too. It's shiny ships. Love that thing.
Put a
Man.
hard pass on that one.
Yeah, just get a microfiber cloth, wear some gloves maybe. But you can use code BROBUILDER10 if you want to save 10% off of your purchase at checkout. And if not, you can use any of the other 10% codes too. It just kind of shows where the traffic is flowing, my friends. So once again, have a good night. We'll see you next week. Tomorrow night's Mechanism. Tuesday is the Four Horsemen. Thursday is another Workbench, babies. Bye.